So, mountaintops are wonderful places. But are there any hurting people at the mountaintop? What do you think this father was feeling? I mean, can you imagine as a parent? Megan, you're a mom. Can you imagine what this dad was feeling? It's horrible. Tyler stubs his toe and my heart breaks. Because I want the pain to be mine. I would rather feel 1,000 times what my kids feel. I don't want them to be sick. I don't want them to hurt. Because as a parent, you would do anything to keep your child from hurting. I would take every sickness I could away from my kids. So for this dad to have to watch his son go through that every single day, that has to be torture. That hurting person isn't on the mountaintop. So we have to find a way to translate that mountaintop feeling into the valley. We have to find a way to translate the God that we find on the mountaintop into the valley. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? The God that we find at camp, that we get so pumped up about, we have to find a way to take that God that we know so intimately, that we find in that cocoon. Because camp is like a cocoon, right? What do we describe it as? A turtle shell? You go in, it's all glorious, you leave, and you're like, whoa, that's a bummer. We have to find a way to translate, to take with us out of that turtle shell, and take with us the glory of God into the valley. So how do we do that? And I could tell by the vacant stares on all of your faces, you haven't figured that out yet. That's what today's about. It's figuring out, how do we take this glory of God with us from the mountaintop and take it into the valley? Any ideas? You find the hurting. Excellent, Preston. Considering that's the name of the slide. Excellent idea, Preston. Because here's the thing, guys. Believe it or not, Christianity is actually not about you. Let me say that again. Christianity is actually not about you. I know, right? Give me your shocker face. The second you become saved, you have to start giving yourself away. Because the second you become saved, it has to become about people who are hurting. Because if all you do is take and take and take, then you have to check whether or not you're really saved. Because if Jesus has poured into your heart a Christ-like spirit, you have to look at what he did on this earth. All Jesus did here on this earth was give to the point of death. He gave to the point of going to hell for us. Right? Jesus gave to the point of willingly going to hell to defeat our sin. Does he ask us to do that? No, he doesn't ask us to go to hell. But he asks us to willingly give of ourselves. So we have to figure out how to take our mountaintop feeling and translate it to the hurting people of the world. Because it's only in the valley that we're going to be able to discover that people need help. So if you're in a bad time in your life, and all you can do is curse God and think about how awful it is, and why is God doing this to me, and why are things so awful, you need to think, how can I find this, and how can I make it better for someone else? Because it's only through those valleys in your life that you can learn to relate to other people. Because what does Romans 8:28 say? You guys have got to know this one. Don't look at your shirt, Gabby. You should have memorized by now. You've been in this youth group for like 4 years. Preston?
Everything happens for a reason.
In a gist, everything happens for a reason. Romans 8:28 says, God will work everything out for the good of those who are called according to his purpose. Every valley that you go through, God will work it out, and you will be able to use it to help someone else. But only if you're looking for who? If you go through your life completely self-absorbed, are you going to be able to help anybody? No, but let me tell you something. Teenagers, I love you guys, but guess what you are? You are extremely self-absorbed. My gosh, I can't think of a generation that is more, it's me. It's all about me. It's me because I'm fabulous. right? You guys are all about yourselves. Did you know that when I was a teenager, number one, we didn't have cell phones, right? I know. Number two, we didn't have digital cameras. I know, I'm getting there. Number three, we sure didn't have phones that had cameras that could turn around where we could take pictures of ourselves.
We had snake.
That's how vain and into yourselves your generation is. Your generation is a generation that go check out your Facebooks. There are more pictures of you doing this, right, than there are of other people on your Facebooks. Because most teenagers are more interested in this picture, right, than they are in this picture. So you may think this is no big deal what I'm talking about. It is a huge deal because this is a huge hurdle for the Christian teenager. Because the Christian teenager, the number one thing that Satan slaps in your face is this. It is all about you, not about everybody else. And Satan puts that lie in your head. He tells you, it's all about you. It's all about you. Oh, sweetheart, it's all about you. Snap a few more pictures. It's all about you. Right? You're really supposed to be doing is making it all about other people. Specifically, all about the hurting people. Next one. It is in the valley that you find out whether you have anything to offer a hurting world. That sounds kind of mean, doesn't it?
No.
I'm really not trying to be mean. I'm not. But let's look at verse 19. What does Jesus say? Because you can't really get any more honest in the words of Jesus. What I love, one of the many things I love about Jesus is he is not a sugarcoater. Did you see Jesus in the Bible sugarcoating stuff? Him hawing around it, trying to make it sound all nice and foo-foo? No, because listen to what Jesus says. What a generation. No sense of God. How many times do I have to go over things? I love it. Jesus, how many times do I have to tell you this stuff? I like that. How much longer do I have to put up with this? Bring the boy here. Well, that's just honest. Jesus kind of, how do you think he's feeling right there? I think he's disappointed. And why is he disappointed? Because these are the people that have been at Jesus' side for how long? These are his main disciples. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I feel that way sometimes. When I have youth that have been in this youth group for years, and y'all pull some junk, and I'm like, really? How many years do I have to put up with this?
They just changed it.
Seriously. It actually says in here, they could not. They couldn't do anything. That's a pretty powerful language. They couldn't. Do you think they had anything to offer? Seriously. Let me ask you this. How many people do you think go to hell every day because of Christians? Rachel's being honest. She said lots. Most of you give me that look like, people don't go to hell because of Christians. No, because the Christians are good people.
Because they see us make mistakes.
I will tell you this. Christians are good people. But the inactivity of Christians is a messy thing. It's a very, very messy thing. How many Christians do you think are sidelined because of other Christians? The thing is, when you become a Christian, you have a responsibility to other Christians. And you have a responsibility to non-believers. Remember what I said earlier? It's not about this, it's about this. When you become a Christian, it fundamentally has to stop being about you. And it has to start being about other people. God puts people in your path deliberately. Y'all understand that, right? I mean, it's not like God's just up there willy-nilly, just let the chips fall where they may. God actually has a plan for all this. I mean, he's not just like a crapshooter kind of guy. He has a plan. He puts people across your path for a reason. But if you don't take the opportunities that he gives you, people miss out because of inactivity. That's a serious thing. And on top of that, guys, let's take the snapshot of us for a second. Let's turn the camera back on us. How many blessings do you miss out on because of inactivity?